Hi there guys, it's Jay here. Thought I'd just do a quick video on Bybit. Um, for those of you that aren't too familiar, I do get quite a few questions about how Bybit works. So hopefully this video will just help out a little bit for you. And yeah, so let's get into it. So Bybit is an exchange where you actually have to deposit your particular cryptocurrencies that you want to use. So if you want to trade with XRP, you'll deposit XRP. Same for EOS, Ethereum, and for Bitcoin. So once you've registered, you'll end up with a screen that looks something like this. Okay. Now, first step is for you to actually deposit some cryptocurrency before you can start trading. So at the top here, you'll see an icon called Assets. If you click on Assets, you get to a page that looks like this. Okay, these are the respective cryptocurrencies, and on the right hand side you can see where it says deposit and withdraw. There are other options here: closed P&L, asset history, order history, trade history, withdrawal history. That's basically just information for you with regards to your trades, your withdrawals, etc. So we're not going to have a look at that today. We won't need that right now. Main thing is to actually get you started. So then, for example, if you want to deposit Bitcoin, then you click on deposit, and there you go, you've got a wallet address. Now this is your wallet address on the Bybit exchange. So you would make a transfer from your private wallet over onto this particular wallet address, and once the relevant confirmations go in, then your cryptocurrency will appear. Right, once your cryptocurrency is in, you click on the trade icon on the top left, and this brings you back to where the action happens. So looking ahead of you, you've got your charts, pretty basic charts. I've got the Heiken and sheet candles set up. You can change it to regular candles if you want. You can put on your indicators if you want. You can select from the drop down list here the indicators that you want to use. On the right hand side, you've got your order placement section where you have the option to place a limit order, a market order, or a conditional order. We mostly use limit and market. Okay. In case you're not familiar, limit orders are when you place a particular order at a particular price while the price is not at that point. So for example, if you look here, you can see that Bitcoin is currently trading at 11,261. If you expect the price to go down to say 11,200 and you want to enter at 11,200, then you would place a limit order. Okay, the same applies if you want to exit an order. You can place a limit order for when the price reaches a particular point. Market orders work a little bit differently. This is to enter the market immediately. Okay, so as you can see, the difference between these two, limit, you've got the option of your order price and your quantity of contracts that you want to order, and then if you click on market, you can see that the order price disappears. This is because if you click buy or long or sell for short, then you enter the market immediately. Now, just on a side note with regards to the fees for using limit and for using market, Bybit Exchange is quite nice in the way that if you use limit orders, they give you a rebate of 0.025% per leverage point. So if you enter into a trade via a market order and then exit via a market order, then okay, because they refer to you as being what's called a market maker. You are adding liquidity to the books, and they want to reward you for that. If you use market orders, you then will pay fees, okay, of 0.075% per leverage point. So if you enter a trade via market and you exit via the market function, then you will pay them the fees of 0.075%. Okay, so looking ahead over here, you can see I've got Bitcoin up and I've selected 25x leverage. This little slider that you see here, you can slide it down to 5, 10, 3, 2, and 1, and every time you make a change, a little box pops up there to tell you that it's done. Now you can see here you've got 1, 2, 3, 5, 10, 25, 50, and 100x. If you prefer not to use any of those, then this little icon on the right hand side of the slider, if you click on that, you can actually select your leverage. Now I usually go with a 15x leverage. Then you click the little plus sign, and there you can see there the leverage has been changed to 15. Okay. Below that you've got contract details, BTC USD. That just gives you some basic information: last traded price, mark price, index price, the volume, etc. We don't really pay too much attention to that, but if you're a nerd and you want some more information, then you can have a look there. Okay. Moving down, you'll have a screen that looks like this, or a block that looks like this. This will be where your active trades and your set trades will appear after you've actually set your trade up. You've got a little marker here, a button here called auto margin replenishment. What auto margin replenishment does is that if your trade goes against you and your liquidation price is hit, if this box is ticked to on, then what it'll do is it'll take some money or take some crypto from your available margin and put that into the trade, and it'll decrease your leverage for you, and that'll push your liquidation point away. So I think what we should maybe do now is let me just set up a trade, and I'll just show you how some of these functions actually work. So for example, I want to set a limit order. Okay, so if I think that the price of Bitcoin is going to go down, it's currently 11,260. I think it's going to go to 11,200. Then where it says order price USD, you put in the price that you want to enter your trade at. So what would we say, 11,200. So I type in 11,200. Okay, then the quantity USD. Now this is where I get quite a lot of queries, because guys think that they are buying $66 worth of Bitcoin. As you can see, there's 66, or they say I wanted to do $50 worth of Bitcoin, and then they enter the trade and exit the trade, and what happens is they make a few cents profit, and they don't know why they've made sense. This is not the actual USD value. This is the number of contracts that you're buying. The easier way to look at it is if you look at this buy long button over there, just below it, it says cost. That is the actual amount of Bitcoin that you'll be putting into the trade. So for example, my available margin, okay, your current available balance. So once you've deposited your Bitcoin, that will appear over here. Okay. So at the moment, I've got a little player count going on here, so I don't have a lot. I've got 0.001 Bitcoin. Okay. And if I want to buy 50 contracts of BTC, and I look below where it says buy long, the actual amount of Bitcoin that it's going to use in the trade is 0.0003 Bitcoin. You'll see then if I up this amount of quantity, so if I go for 500 contracts, then you can see there that cost has gone to 0.003. Now if I try and click buy long, it's not going to accept it. Okay, order submission failed, insufficient margin. My margin is only 0.001 at the moment. So let me dial that back down, and let's say, okay, I want to put 0.0003 Bitcoin in, and that's with 50 contracts, and then order price buy in at 11,200. I click buy long, and then this window pops up. Now, what's quite handy with this window is it gives you the information of your intended trade. So 11,200 USD is my order price. So once the price reaches there, my order will trigger. Okay, and it just gives you the information of your particular trade, the cost, your available margin, your leverage, the number of contracts that you want to buy, your mark price, okay, and then your estimated liquidation price. Now, this is an important number, okay. If the price goes against me, so if the price drops further down, once it hits $10,549, then I will be liquidated. Okay, so that's my cut or loss. Take your money and cheers, buddy. Thanks for playing. So if the price goes against me, that's the number that I need to be aware of. At the top here, you can see where it says take profit USD and stop loss USD. Okay, very handy functions on Bybit. So you can actually set this up. So for example, I'm trading at 15x leverage. I'm looking then for a take profit. Say when my entry price will be 11,200. I'll say when the price if the price triggers, then when the price reaches 11,400, then it'll sell automatically for me. Okay, which is quite nice. So you can set the amount that you want your trade to sell at, or you can opt to have 25% profit, 50% profit, 75, 100, 150, 200. Okay, so that's quite a nice function to use if you're not going to be available at your PC to monitor your trade. You can set it and say, okay, if the price reaches 50% profit, then close automatically and take that profit. You can also set a stop loss. Okay, another safety function here, which is quite nice. So if I click stop USD, stop loss USD, then I can set the price that I'm comfortable for the price to go against me at. So at example, it's 11,200 now. If the price goes to 11,100, okay, then it'll close. And that's just an extra protection. Likewise, you can also set up a specified percentage, 5%, 15%, 25%, and 50%. Again, this is useful for when you're not available at your PC. So you can set your trade, click confirm at the bottom over here, okay, and then walk away. And then hopefully the price goes to where you want it to, your trade will trigger, and you know that you'll have your protection in place and you'll have your exit in place. So let me go ahead and confirm this order. I'm going to take profit at 50%, and I'm going to set the stop loss at, say, 15%. Okay, so there we go. So it's a long. So if I click confirm, why did it fail? Okay, there you go. Right, it went through. So now you can see this green line has appeared. Okay, that green line is my entry price. So when the price comes down, 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 and reaches there, my trade will trigger. And then once that triggers, my stop loss and my exit price will appear on the chart as well. Okay, it doesn't appear at the moment because the trade hasn't triggered yet. Something's changed at the bottom here now. You can see where it says positions BTC USD, closed PNL, and then active. Active has got a 1 next to it. So let's click on there and have a look and see what it's about. Okay, so this is then the information of the trade that I just set up. It's the contract of BTC USD, 50 contracts, my entry price of 11,200, filled remaining, so it hasn't triggered yet, so that's 0 to 50. The value of the order in BTC, okay, which is my 50 contracts times by the leverage times by the amount that I put into the trade of 0.03, 0.0003 BTC. Yeah, I'm a high roller today. Here you've got a little icon that says TPSL. TP is your take profit. So when the price reaches 11,586, it'll take profit. Or if the price drops to 11,089, it'll exit the trade because that's going to be my stop loss. It's a limit order that I placed. it's a new order, and there's order number and order time, etc. Okay, so there you can have a look at that. You can see the information of the trades that you want to place. My auto margin replenishment is on. Now I've set a stop loss, so I don't really need to have that on because the price will not reach my liquidation point. Okay, something else about liquidation, you don't see a liquidation price here at all. Okay, the liquidation price will only appear once the trade has triggered. So what I'm going to do then is cancel this trade. Okay, and then let's have a look at market orders. Alright, so now I'm on the 5-minute chart here, and I can see there's a little bit of downward action going on. So what I'm going to do is, with the same 50 contracts, my cost of, what's that, 300,000 satoshis, I think, might be right, might be wrong there. I don't need to put in an amount, the price that I want the trade to enter at, because it's going to enter straight away. So let me just go straight in and go to sell short. I see the price is going down. The price is heading down here a little bit, so I'm going to maybe just try and catch it a little bit further down. But just as an example, I will enter the trade. So I'll click on sell short. Again, it gives you the options of stop loss, take profit. Take profit, let me go for 25%. Stop loss, let me go 15% for that. Okay, you can choose what you want, and also you don't have to use those. You can manually change it after the fact, or you can just leave the trade running. Okay, in fact, I think for this one I will just turn those off, and I'll adjust it once the trade is actually running. So then the details of my contract, of my order, and click confirm. Okay, so there we go. So now I've entered into the contract, and if I have a look here where it says positions BTC USD, there is my trade that's appeared. So here you can see there I'm in a short position. Okay, BTC USD of 50 contracts, the value of it, I entered at a price of 11,238.50. Now here's my liquidation price. Okay, so the liquidation price is very important. I've got to keep an eye on that and know when my exit's going to be. The margin of my trade, the value of my trade, and then your unrealized profit and loss. So at the moment I'm 0.59% down. Okay, now once the trade is up and running, you can actually go on and you can look and you can see that you've got the option of limit and market. So you can go in there and you can actually set when you want this trade to close. Okay, so close price, I'm on a short, so let me say close price of $10,000. Okay, and you can select the number of positions to close. Now I bought 50 contracts. I can decide how many I want to sell at that point, so I can actually look at selling, you know, a portion of it, of my trade, and then if the price goes down I can sell another portion and another portion. So you can use this to book a percentage of profits of a trade. You don't have to sell it all at once. Okay, again over here there's a little bar where you can select sell all, sell half, a third, and sell a quarter. So let me say there I want you to sell half of my trade when the price reaches $10,000. Okay, so there it's shown up over there. Okay, let me just cancel that. Now next to where it says limit and market, the market button, if you click on market and confirm, that will sell or exit the trade at market price. Okay, again you can specify how much of that particular trade you want to sell. Okay, either all of it or you can sell a portion of it, it's up to you. Okay, then that is at market. So if you happen to walk past your PC and you see that you're 100% in profit, you can just click market and confirm, and you'll sell and you'll book that 100% profit. Okay, now where it says limit and market, just on the left hand side of it there, you got another small icon. If you click that icon there, you can get these particular options. Okay, now the two particular options that we're quite interested in here is stop loss and trailing stop. So here you can set your stop loss like we had earlier. Okay, and we can also set what's called a trailing stop. Now, a trailing stop is quite useful. Okay, if you click on that and type in a certain amount, trailing stop, the way it works is if the price is going in your direction, okay, you can set in the price of say $100, okay, on a BTC trade, and what will happen is as the price goes up, it's going to give you $100 downturn gap. Okay, so if you put in $100 and the price flies up by 1,000 and then drops by 100 from there, you'll exit your trade. Okay, if you put in $250, then if the price goes up 5,000 and then drops 100 and then goes up another 5,000, drops 100, goes up another 5,000, you'll stay in the trade. Only once the price from a high drops by $250 will your trade end. So that's trailing profit, trailing stop. So also like a trailing profit. It's very useful to, maybe set this at say $500 and then confirm. And then what will happen is if the price keeps going up but doesn't retrace by at least $500, then you'll keep on booking more and more profits. This is a nice little safety feature, and also to help maximize profits if you're not available to actually sit and to watch what your trades are doing. Okay, so I'm in a little bit of profit right now, so what I might just do is just leave that run for a little bit, and I'll come back a bit later and see what it is, how it's worked out. So yeah, what else is here that needs to be mentioned? Yeah, on the left hand side at the top of your charts, you've got your usual things, your minutes, so you can set your time frames, minutes, hourly, daily, weekly, monthlies. You got your indicators. If you click on indicators, you can just pick up the indicators that you want to use. Sometimes if I might use a Bollinger Band, then Bollinger Bands will pop up. It's entirely up to you if you want to go ahead and use different indicators. A lot of guys do. You can set the type of candles that you want. I generally like to use Heiken Ishii. And yeah, there is a function here. There we go. On the bottom left where it says charts by trading view, there's a tiny little arrow. Don't know if you can see that, just there. If you click on that, then you get your drawing tools out, and you can do your lines, you can write on your charts, you've got your Fibonacci's, you've got all the options that you would normally find if you're used to using TradingView. Okay, so yeah, I think that's about it. If you have any questions or queries, you feel free to hit me up. So yeah, perfect. Thanks guys for watching, and I hope this has helped.